guess I'm ready now. America, governed under the U.S. Constitution for the 71 years since 1789, came apart with the election of Abraham Lincoln in 1860. Before President Lincoln took office in March of 1861, 7 slave states had seceded from the Union and formed the Confederate States of America. When President Lincoln called for the remaining states to provide soldiers to bring the seceding states back into the Union, 4 more slave states joined the Confederacy. Thus began the American Civil War, sometimes called the War between the States. The Confederates, the South, and the Union, the North, fought each other for the 4 years from 1861 to 1865. This war of brother against brother left 600,000 dead and 400,000 more wounded, totaling to about 1 million casualties, which is even more horrifying when you consider that the U.S. population at the time was only 1/10 of what it was today. The causes of this conflict are still being debated, but certainly include the differing views on tariffs due to the differing economies of the North and South. Another and better known cause was the issue of slavery. Slavery was a political issue involving property, taxation, and representation. Slavery was also a human rights issue, with many, if not most, Northerners believing it to be an abomination. The slavery issue further became apparent with the South's desire to extend slavery into the Western territories and the North's desire to keep slavery from these territories out of them, to keep these territories free of slavery. After the U.S. Fort Sumter fell to the South, President Lincoln called out 75,000 3-month volunteers. By the fall of that first year, the North had more volunteers than could be effectively trained or equipped. Yet by the summer of 1862, the South had many successes, and both the initial optimism and enthusiasm towards reuniting the Union was fading in the North. In July of 1862, the U.S. Congress authorized a militia draft within any states that did not meet their quota of volunteers. President Lincoln called for 300,000 3-year men, and on the very next day, New York Governor Edward D. Morgan made an appeal to each citizen of the state of New York. The state was divided into military districts, and within each district, there was a place for the newly enlisted soldiers to assemble. In our district, Goshen filled this role. A committee was appointed to oversee the enlistment and to select suitable persons to command the regiments that were to be raised. Appeals were made to town and county boards, and circulars of instructions were printed and circulated throughout the entire state. From our military district was formed the 124th Regiment of the New York State Volunteers, nicknamed the Orange Blossoms, for the orange ribbon worn on their dress uniform, and obviously because of the Orange County name. The 124th was commanded by Colonel Augustus Van Horn Ellis of the Orange County town of New Windsor. Company D of the regiment, known as the Warwick Boys, and this was the unit in which many of those whose names are on the brand spanking new Warwick Civil War plaque had served. The company was commanded by Captain James W. Benedict with Daniel Sayre and John Wood Houston, whom you'll hear about later, serving as lieutenants. Among those whose names are on this plaque, some were driven by political ideology, holding firm beliefs about the importance of liberty, the Union, and the need to destroy slavery. Others had reasons that were less political, such as the defense of one's home and family, or the honor and brotherhood of fighting alongside others. But no matter what these soldiers were thinking about when going to the war, the eyewitness of combat affected them profoundly.
Thank you, Alex.